Hi guys, welcome back. This is Matt Chat episode 572, featuring a look at the game Xenonauts 2. Now this is a game similar, I guess, to XCOM, if you remember that game, and I'm pretty sure you do if you watch this channel, because you're just that awesome. But if you like X-Files and turn-based combat strategy, tactics, base building, dogfighting, and with flying saucers, this game's got it covered. It's really a lot of fun. I had a great time with it, and I think you'll agree. It's worth a look. So, we've got a lot to cover, so without further ado, here is Xenonauts 2. Alright folks, here we go. We're going to be playing a game called Xenonauts 2 today. This just came out April 2nd, 2026, and I just beat it this morning after about 50 hours of gameplay, and I really enjoyed it. It's got a few wrinkles we can get into. I might tweak some of the settings a little bit, but man, if you like those classic XCOM games, or maybe you're looking for a kind of a blend of turn-based role-playing and strategy and tactical kind of games, turn-based strategy, I think there's a lot to enjoy here. Now, it's inevitable you want to compare it to a few things, right? So, of course, there's the first Xenonauts game that came out in 2014. And I'll admit up front, I'd never played this one. Just too much stuff going on, I guess, back in 2014. And by the time I heard about it, they were already close enough to the sequel. I just thought, well, I'll just wait for that. And I feel pretty good about that, because really, this is not so much a sequel here, Xenonauts 2. It's just kind of an update. So, you know, it's just by browsing these screenshots here of the first game. I mean, it looks practically identical. Very similar setup. So it's no problem. I have no problems with that. You know, if you have a pretty good formula, people enjoy the game, why just change things just for the sake of changing stuff up? So really what we have here, graphical overhaul. We have, I think it's 3D instead of 2.5. Again, I haven't played the first one, so it's just what I was reading. And then the big change is with the story. So we'll be fighting some human opponents in this game early on instead of just the aliens. So that was one of the innovations. And I got some ideas for my own kind of XCOM game. Maybe I'll talk to these Gold Hawk Interactive folks in a future video, and I can give them my idea. I'll tell you about it later. So anyway, we'll be looking at this. Now you might wonder, what about XCOM, just the regular XCOM game? Well, it came out in 2016. Wow, it's been that long, huh? This is kind of, to me, the gold standard here, XCOM 2. If you like that kind of game. This one, you could tell from these screenshots even, that they don't even show you the frickin' gameplay. There's no, like, shot of the tactical part of the game here, which is kind of telling, I think, because they really lavished a lot of budget on the cinematics in this game. If you're caring mostly about graphics and a smooth interface, even though this game is quite dated, it still looks better than most of the stuff out there. Just in terms of AAA quality, or whatever you want to call that. This game is still, I think, well, 1999, so not too bad. So I always recommend XCOM 2 for people that aren't familiar with the genre. Then you've also got this Phoenix Point game, which was made by some of those original XCOM folks, Snapshot Games. And I covered this not too long ago. They had a Kickstarter for this game, and when it came out, there were a lot of bugs and glitches, and it didn't do too well. But later they re-released it, patched it up, and it plays great now. In my opinion, it's one of the best of the breed. And this one does also have a lot of variety, so it's not just, they're not even aliens. These are mutants. Kind of creeping up from our past, I believe. It's been a little while since I played this, but I liked it because you had a lot of variety with the creatures, and you had factions and things. So in some ways, these games are kind of apples and oranges, even though they're all kind of in the same ballpark. But anyway, I'll jump here into Xenonauts 2. I just finished it this morning, about 50 hours. I can't remember if I said that already. But I'll tell you more about my thoughts on it as we go along here. So let's get this game up and running, and I'll show you what it's all about. Alright, so here we go. Xenonauts 2. Love the music for this. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Jaws. Kind of creepy. You know, one thing I think they should have more of in these games is a little bit more of a Jagged Alliance flavor. You know, the whole game doesn't need to be this tense, morbid, darkness descending. You know, but these guys ought to be having a little bit of fun, right? Blasting aliens. That's one reason I like the old Baldur's Gate games where Minsk would just seem so joyful. Minsk is a joyful dude, you know, he's whacking. There should be the equivalent of that in a game like this. But anyway, let's get into a new campaign. I'll show you my old one when we get a little further in the video. Now, the difficulty of this game is one of my biggest pet peeves. I think you'd have to be insane to pick something beyond Soldier. Unless you've played it several times and you're really just kind of almost bored with it, you might ratchet it up. But man, oh man, I had to reload so many times. The tendency to get one-shotted is almost guaranteed every mission. Even with the very best armor and stuff, it's just really crazy. Which I guess you could say that's realistic. That's what they were going for, you know, that sort of thing. But it's not that big a deal, I suppose. If you lose a guy, you can always train up a new one. You can even have some in reserve for when they die and switch over. They max out fairly early, but it's still, to me, just an enormous pain. I tend to just reload if I lose somebody, so that is something to think about. I think Soldier would give you plenty enough challenge. Let's see what... They don't really break down what these do, I guess. They just say... Well, I guess we could look over there on the side. So I was going to see if there is a way I can change the hit points. Because I feel like if my... Oh, there's something. Soldier survival chance. Show enemy health. Armor destroyed on death. Ooh. Like, all of these are ways to make it harder. Achievement difficulty, Soldier. What I was looking for was a way to give my guys more health. Just I feel like if I had 25% more health, where I could just survive one attack, could always have a chance to get him out of the way and retreat, not have to reload. But I don't see anything like that here. Enemy quantity. So let's just, I guess we'll roll with these defaults again. You know, I really feel like they should have a setting here for like bonus health. Or maybe you could decrease the enemy damage, but nope. Let's see, what is extended mode? Primarily balanced around the standard campaign. Extended mode is available to those who want to engage in even more tactical battles. This disables the UFO delegation system. Oh, no, you don't want to do that. That would get repetitive to the point of making it not fun, I think. Oh, Iron Man mode! It feels almost like it's defaulted Iron Man mode. So let's just don't even think about that. Alright, let's just go ahead and begin.
The year is 2009.
Ah.
The world teeters on the brink of nuclear war. Tensions between capitalist and communist nations are at boiling point. Every opportunity for peace has failed, as if an invisible hand inexorably steers humanity towards annihilation. We Xenonauts...
I think I've heard about this on
the dark forces poisoning our
YouTube.
politics are not human in origin, and we must protect our planet against this extraterrestrial threat however we can. After years spent gathering information on an enemy that few believe exists, we are finally ready to strike back. The war for our future begins now.
Yeah, I don't think E.T. in this game's going to be making your bicycle fly. No. Yeah, that's pretty good artwork here. So one nice thing about Hooded Horse, I guess, depending on how you feel about it, they're very adamant about no AI. So they don't allow any AI assets or anything. So that's not a concern here. Welcome to Xenonauts 2. You control a secret organization intent to protect the world from alien invasion. Alright, we don't need the tutorial. How do I disable this tutorial? Skip it! Yes, I'm sure. I'm your tutor. Strategic Layer, day 1. So this is a game that didn't make a great first impression on me. Because of the the style of this graphics and user interface. To me, it kind of looked like something you'd see on a tablet, like a casual game. And I was like, oh no, I just spent $40 on something that was developed with an iPad in mind, but that's deceptive. Don't even worry about that. It's not going to bother you at all. You'll quickly get used to it. It's quite, the game like this, it lives or dies by the strategy and the tactical dimension. So if they nailed that, you're not going to care about the look of the graphics all that much. Although, that said, it would be nice if they had the XCOM 2 budget and could really lavish this thing up with some great cinematics and dialogues and voiceovers and stuff. But even with that, as we learned from Jagged Alliance, if you have to keep listening to that same voice clip thousands of times, you'll want to wait and turn it off. Alright, the Shadow War. If you believe our enemies exist, yet the malign tendrils of their influence can be felt across our planet. Rising tensions between capitalists and communists threaten to spark a ruinous nuclear war. Commander. They could have stuck some voice actors in here. Just talk to me. Ask Matt. I can do a voice. Commander. Good of you to finally make an appearance. See? It's not that hard. Welcome to our backup facility. Alright, that might. You probably want to hire a lady to do her voice. Do these people even have names? Operations Director. We should be safe here, at least for a while. No getting around the fact that we're living in a derelict nuclear bunker full of 60s era junk. Hope you're fine with cold showers, cold food, and cold air. Was this supposed to be 2003 or 6? Why are they still using those classic manual typewriters? Hope you're fine with cold showers. Well, I'm from Minnesota. I'm very used to cold everything. The temperature is the least of our concerns. My work suggests we have mere months before the aliens can launch a full-scale invasion. If we are to prepare, we must gather data on the alien forces scouting our planet. Those UAPs. Of course, the cleaners are unlikely to make that easy. The guys that justified the making of a sequel. That's why I called this meeting. This could have been an email. Commander, I'm formally handing over control of this organization to you. Oh, thank you. The situation has changed, and we need someone with military experience making the big decisions. When has this ever happened? Ever? I'll run day-to-day matters, like keeping us supplied and getting this place patched up. All you need to do is figure out how to win the war. Oh, that's all. Congratulations on the promotion, Commander. One hopes you prove equal to the task. You know who you're talking to. Look, you don't even know how to operate a razor. Please choose the location for your starting base. Alright, and thus it begins. And, oh boy, there's a lot to this game. So I kind of like that they didn't dwell too much on the story and the background and the context. I don't want to read a novel or watch a movie. I want to play something. So just enough to get us started here, and then we're good. You've played XCOM before. You know the drill. Alright, so this is there's a little more thought that goes into the starting base than I thought about when I first started. So what you want, you probably think, oh, North America, duh. Why? I don't know. National pride or something. But if you look at that blue circle, so what's going to happen is wherever we put our base, you're going to have this radar. And you can only extend that radar so far out. And the radar is the only way you can detect the flying saucers. And if you can detect the flying saucers, you send your planes out to shoot it down. Then you go in with your men and try to salvage it. So what you want is to try to find a spot where you can really cover a lot of area. Like if you go for Australia here, you know, the whole rest of the world is sitting ducks, right? So I actually had some pretty good luck here, like right about there. So I feel like this, you know, it doesn't matter if you see them over the ocean, because you can only get it if they land in the, if you crash it over land. So I'm thinking like right around here. What country is there in real life? Is that like, I feel like this is like the Middle East here, right? Oh, I guess it's Africa. Okay. All right, doomsday counter. Prevent doomsday counter. So there'll be these different mechanics at different phases of the game. I forget how many phases there are, but each one has a certain challenge, a different variation on this theme. A timer. You know, you want one way to ratchet up the tension, make the gamer stress out, you just stick a time limit on it. So if that goes over 100, for more than one day, will result in an alien victory. So these aliens are out there spreading misinformation, disinformation, and YouTube memes, and Facebook Reels, and TikToks. I don't know what they're doing. You know, it feels kind of like maybe there really are aliens doing that. You know what I mean? Okay, where to start? Well, we can start here by looking at this doomsday counter. So right now, it's only ticking up 1 point per day. Oh, look, I didn't realize you could get the city names on there. That's cool. Okay, there's Tel Aviv, Sudan, Mogadishu. All right. Yeah, I never zoomed this far in. I didn't know they put the city names on there. See, you know what? I love it when you play a game, even after you beat it, and you come back and there's all this little stuff you didn't realize before. Yeah, eventually, well, I don't want to spoil too much of the late game, but there's probably a pretty good reason they put the city names on here. Just leave it at that. Uh-oh, my time, you see, there's no way to pause it here, unless I go to one of these other screens, so I basically wasted a few hours there. No big deal. Alright, so we can look at our first base here, and already we have some major choices to make. A strategic layer. So, a base requires power, so that is the job of these generators. We'll be able to upgrade these later. So you might say, I'll go ahead and make a generator. Where do I put it? Well, it matters where you put it. Something else I didn't really think about when I started, but I'll save you the pain. Alright, so if you put it next to another generator, instead of only generating 40 power, it will generate 60 power. So that's a big improvement. And then if you have a square of them, you can see how that'll work. You have more things adjacent to it. So I like to put everything in squares. So we'll go ahead and get one of these started. Now, it takes 12 days to make that generator, but you don't have to, you can make more than one thing at a time. So that's one of the perks. The only thing we're limited here is the money. That's a big one. Alright, so I think I would want to get the generator going. Now, I don't know what the deal is with these missile batteries. They say protect your base against alien attacks. They will fire at incoming UFOs and attempt to destroy them before they land ground forces. I never had a base attack on my first playthrough. I don't know if that's something that only happens randomly or maybe with the higher difficulty levels. So I didn't have that problem, so I'm not really going to mess with that this time. But what I am going to mess with is some of these other things. All right. You want to make another plane, I think, pronto. And to make, you can have up to 3 planes and a salvo. What's the word for that? Sortie? So really, I might actually even want to make another... oh man, they put that storeroom in a stupid place. See, I'll only be able... You put another storeroom here, but you only get... You can't make a square out of it. Okay, we'll just have to live with that. We'll probably only be able to make one plane at a time, so we could just make the one hangar. So you have to make the hangar first, then that gives you a place to build the jet. So go ahead and get that started. We'd only have space for 2 more people, so we're going to want more living quarters. So pop that there. So I think all of this is fairly non-controversial. starting builds. The problem, the question is, do you want to make a training center or do you want a medical center? Because I don't think you get those right off the bat. So notice we're already down to 1.5 million. So let's just pause it here and get some of this other stuff started. Okay, we don't have any research to do yet. We don't have any engineering to do. Here's a little thing that I didn't notice before. So, I was so confused. I thought that this little part here that says no engineering selected, $250 an hour. I thought this was saying I'm just wasting $250 an hour. That is dead wrong. Actually, this means that if these engineers don't have anything else to do, they'll do little odd jobs, I guess. They'll, I don't know, outsource their stuff on, you know, Mechanical Turk or something. I don't know what they're doing, but they're making money for me. So it really behooves me to try to make as many engineers and scientists as I can. Because even if they're not doing anything, they'll still be making money, and you can never have enough of that. Alright, so let's look at what they can and can't do. So we have to have an empty hangar seat and start making a jet. So we don't want to go... We want to make sure we save ourselves at least 500k so we can start on that jet when those hangars are done. Let's click back here for a second. So we got 1.5 million. So the, again, question is training center, which costs 750,000, or the medical center, which is 750,000. Now, you can only have one medical center, so you don't have to worry about where to put it. Just don't want to block anything useful, so I might stick it there. The training, what it does is when you get your men out on a mission, they get wounded, and they'll be sitting out for a long time. Because if you look here, the healing rate is only 1.5 hit points per day. You're almost guaranteed to take wounds and get injured. So even if you survive a mission, if everybody's real banged up, you know, it could take forever to get back in shape to sometimes it's 30 days or more before you can get back into battle. This medical center helps with that. It also, let's go ahead and build it. I talked myself into it. It's also going to increase our survival chance. So I don't know how you feel about this mechanic. I didn't really like this too much, but even if you lose a guy, you lose a soldier, he's dead, there's a chance that if you complete the mission, he might still be alive. I guess I'm not dead yet, kind of a situation. And that chance goes up with this medical center. Let's see, does it say what it's going to go up to? Plus 20%, so it's not insignificant. So there's a small chance. He's probably going to die anyway, but the nice part is maybe you get so far along in a mission and somebody gets one-shotted, or you get yourself in a bad situation, then it's either redo the whole thing or maybe just continue on, hoping that that guy survives. It's better than nothing. Alright, so I'm not going to spend any more money because I want to see if I can make sure I have enough to build that plane. Let's just see again what that's going to cost. 500,000. So I got 300k I can play with, but I want to do some other stuff. Alright, coming back to my... let's see, where is it? Armory. So we can get a look at what we have. Table sort order. Probably should read all that. So you can get a look at your team here. This first little plane, first dropship, only holds 8 people. Later on, we'll be able to get ones that carry more. Oh boy, is that useful. So I got 4 troops just hanging out. Oh, I should go back here and show you something else. All right, so the training center, what this does is if you have guys just sitting around in base, if you have a training center, it's kind of like free experience. Let's see if it gives me more information here about this. Additional training space. It just says training capacity, training rate 2.5. So they get a little bit of XP just hanging out at base. Now the argument is you don't really need this in your main base because your guys will be getting so much experience out in the field doing missions, but I think it would still be useful to have that. Because like I said, I've got these 4 guys just sitting here at the base. Yeah. So these 4 guys could be slowly becoming sergeants. And that's really good because every time they get a promotion, these stats go up. And all these stats go all the way to 100. So they're going to really suck for a while. So, plus, you might be thinking, well, I got my 8 guys, I'll just keep using these. Why would I switch to those other folks? Again, they're going to get wounded. Even if you save scum like me when one dies, there's still going to be 2 wounded. You don't want to send some guy out into battle with 12% health. So you're going to be using some of these reserves anyway. So anyway, the short of it is I think you're probably good to have a training center. The only question is, do you want to build it now or wait? I think we'll wait on it until I can get that plane going. All right, enough of that. So I think that's about all we need to do at this stage. We don't have any items yet. Can't even put missiles on our plane. So let's just fast forward time. Here come these cleaners. These are the human opponents. Mysterious human organization known informally as the Cleaners. We know little about the Cleaners beyond the fact that they invariably appear within a few hours of suspected alien activity. I guess they couldn't call them the Men in Black. Anyone that develops an interest in the Cleaners tends to disappear without trace. Previously avoided probing too deeply into their organization. We left it all to... what's that? Left us alone. Obviously the equation has now changed. Alright, so these are kind of like the... what do they call that? The 5th column? They've sold us out to the aliens. Or have they? Again, I don't think there's anything to do but wait. Alright, tactical mission. It's a ground mission. We must regain control of Atlas Base. Mission type elimination. That's another problem I have with this game is they kind of spoil you here at the beginning with all these mission types. In the later parts of the game, you're just doing the same old mission over and over and over again. Oh, a battleship. Oh, a battleship. Oh, a battleship. Oh, a battleship. So it's nice. Enjoy this while it lasts when you get all these varied missions. Biome facility. Time remaining 3 days. So all of this is useful info, even like the time remaining. So I don't have to do this right away. If I wanted to, if maybe I got some... my engineers making some new armor, some new weapons. Maybe I want a couple of extra days to heal up. You have that option. So don't ignore that. However, the loss effect is game over. So kind of high stakes. So let's put the team together here. Now I was a little confused about this, and I don't even know if... I wish I had a way to test this. Maybe I'll see if I can test this out on my other save game, but I was told you can only have 1 drop ship. However, it looks like there's slots for 2 more. So I don't know if that's just poor UI, or you can in fact have up to 3 drop ships. So maybe I can test that out at some point if you can remind me. Let's go ahead and go. The drop ships, I never got attacked. Again, I don't know how different those higher difficulty levels are. I'm not brave enough to try those. Maybe you get even attacked when your dropship is on route, but I don't know. Okay, so let's talk about these loadouts. I told you, there's a lot to this game, okay? It's deceptive. It looks simple, but it's not. All right, so I've only got tactical armor, which that kind of sucks. However, I can choose between the heavy and light version. You can see that gives me 12 armor. So you wonder what armor does? Reduces damage sustained by a unit in battle, absorbing incoming damage before it is applied to the hit points. So yeah, your armor gets destroyed eventually. Seems like most weapons will bypass it anyway, but it's a lot better than nothing. Now this guy, you might think shields, kind of a tanky guy. So basically, depending on how you position him, the shield will start taking damage before he does. So you really want to lead with this guy as much as possible. Especially if you're playing on Iron Man mode, you're really going to be using these shields a lot, I feel. The question is, what kind of secondary weapon do you want on him? Now, you could have a pistol, but I was having some pretty good luck with the stun baton. Sounds a little counterintuitive, but here's my thinking. If you can capture things alive, you tend to get much better rewards for that. So I think I'm going to try to take anything alive I can. Now he's got a little bit of a turn unit penalty. He's going to have 3 fewer points per turn, but you know that stinks, but what can you do? I certainly wouldn't want to overload him too much because then he'll really have trouble. So that's about all I can do for him. I could get rid of this. This is a demolition charge. I could show you what that is when we get into it. So I could get rid of that, swap it out for a... Oh, can't do that. So he's only got 3 pounds, so really we're done with him. Alright, so you got your shield guys, you got your assault crew, which these are going in close. So he's got his shotguns. The way these shotguns work, they have the short range accuracy bonus. So basically, like everybody assumes wrongly, a shotgun is ineffective at more than like 5 feet. Yeah. Does anybody ever hunt? You know, I've shot deer with the shotgun from I could barely see the deer, you know. But anyway, and that was my one hunting experience. Let's see, primary. So everything looks good, but you notice he's got some extra pounds, some extra carrying capacity. So you might either give him some more ammo. It's usually a good thing. Really sucks to be out somewhere and not have any ammo left, but I'm going to... Yeah, I never really used the knife that much, but these are good for doing damage over time. So I might play around with that just for fun. Of course, you know what a grenade does. The smoke grenades are counterintuitive to the extreme. So, I was under the impression, like most people would, I think, that you smoke up your side so that it makes it harder for them to see you. But really, this is works more like tear gas. So you throw the smoke at the enemies, and then they'll run out of it, or at least have a hard time shooting you. So it's actually very useful. Plus, it does some stun damage. And if you could stun the enemies enough, then you don't have to kill them. Right? They just go unconscious, and then you can take them home with you. You can bag them and tag them. Okay, so I might do the same thing here. These flashbangs are a lot more useful than you might think as well. So go ahead and grab some extra flashbangs. Let's see, can I fit a? No. What am I missing there? Another smoke. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think I might be able to fit yet another grenade on him. Give him a regular grenade. Okay. You don't want to be blowing up people with these fragmentation grenades unless it's utterly necessary. You can wound them with them, but the problem is if you kill them, then you lose their gear. And that means less money. There's a good old rifleman. Okay, just checking this. Everybody's got heavy. So you don't have to put heavy on everybody, but you want them to die? So I put heavy on everybody. Maybe not the snipers. If it's somebody that's going to be a long ways out of harm's way, you might think, I don't need that armor, but guess what? Those aliens are going to find you. They're going to one-shot you. Alright, we've got to lose some weight. Private Alma Clausen. So that take both of her grenades away, but she still got this demolition charge. These are useful. I'll show you just how useful those can be. Okay, let's go heavy armor again. Lose the frag. I think we can live with 2 turn penalties. Alright, so these are all... What we're missing here is the Grenadier. So I'm going to change one of these riflemen to a Grenadier. Because I just think it's fun to say, Grenadier. But I can give her, or him I guess, some smoke. And these are a little better than the... oh, can't do that. Let's change that pistol out for a baton. 5, 6, 7. I think these are 6 pounds. So let's see. We got smoke, heavy explosives, heavy smoke. What to do? I guess a flashbang. Nope, can't fit that. And these are your machine gunners. They're really useful as well. I think I did most of my kills with the shotguns and the snipers and these machine guns. Take away that stupid handgun. Stick a baton there. Hopefully we'll be able to bag a couple of these bad guys. Yeah, you always want to make sure you have some extra ammo for that. Okay, let's go with this. Oops. I hope I don't lose this first match. Yeah, set yourself up as an expert on Xenonauts 2, eh, Matt? Eliminate all hostile units. So apparently this was a big deal for Xenonauts fans. They finally get to kill humans. Yay! Commander, this is a critically important mission. We left a lot of important things behind when we evacuated Atlas, including several years of research data. We need to clear the facility of hostiles so we can search through it. So, ironically, we're the ones doing the cleanup. Cover my research data. Yeah. You just want that porn drive. I can't risk contacting our agents until I know our communications network is secure. The cleaners have patrolled their assault force, so hopefully this won't be too hard. If you run into the general, this isn't the time for sentiment. Oh, you learn about him in the tutorial. So, I guess we skipped that bit. Okay, the fun begins. Opening doors. Opening up a door costs 4 time units to perform. Yeah, you don't get nothing for free in this game. Yeah, I wish I could zoom. Is there a way to zoom in? That rotates it. This just goes up and down. Abort. You know, it wasn't a big deal when I was playing in full screen mode, but now it's really small. I wonder if there's a way to zoom in and out. Camera up. Geoscape. Paste screen. I don't see an option. That's kind of dumb. Oh, wait. Camera up, camera left, camera up. Camera zoom out. It says Alt. What? Page down or page up. Okay. I don't have those keys anymore. Oh, that's how you do it. Okay, I wish I had a control that would have told me this. Okay, so if you hit Alt and mouse wheel, you can zoom in and out. That's good to know that. Otherwise, you just go up and down these levels. Right, so we can, if you left click, it'll tell you how many turns units you'll have left. So if I move there, I'll have 41. And if I look over here, I can see what my actions can be. So it takes 14 to do this melee stun. It takes 4 to crouch. Well, I never used this, but focus mind. So I guess I can recharge some morale here. Yeah, I never even noticed that before. Okay, so yeah, if your morale starts getting low, I guess we can recharge that. But you can see, you got all these doors they could be coming out of. So for all I know, the enemies are going to come running out of that door. So you don't want to just be standing around. Go ahead and open that. You can see there's quite a bit of fog of war there. So I got my first guy. There he is. So the question is, do I want to run up and slug him? Because there might be other enemies in this room that I can't see. Ah, throw caution to the wind. Go. Okay, and then I can't do anything else. I can't even crouch. So let's send this guy in through this door. And I think I don't see anybody over there. I'm going to switch him to the baton as well. Oh, he can't make it. Oh, that's too bad. So let's just use him as a guard, I think. I think even turning like that takes a couple of points. They don't give you anything for free. Well, let's go ahead and I'll waste one more. Turn him back around that way. Crouch him. Oh, so he can't do the Overwatch anyway. Oh, that sucks. Alright. Well, we don't have to be perfect. Nobody can reach him. That stinks. So let's go ahead and set this guy up over here. Alright. So he's got 17 time units left. So that means he will be able to do the snapshot as a attack of opportunity or an Overwatch or whatever you want to call it. So if something does come through one of these doors, he has a chance, it's not guaranteed, but he has a chance of maybe shooting back or shooting at them before they can do anything. Alright, let's get this guy set up. So they could be coming through that door too, is another fear of mine. So I'm going to set him there. Alright, here's our smoky guy. Nobody has enough time units to get over there and slug that dude, so just have to save that. There we go, this guy's got enough motion. Stun him again. He's still in it though. Hopefully he won't be able to kill my person. Throwing about everything I have at him. Alright, so he's watching that way. I think I'll have him watch. Let's see, can he make it? Nope. Let's have this guy watch that way. And okay, looks like I got everybody covered. So I could go either way with this person, but who is this? Private and Cock. Move Cock over here. Okay. So let's just see what happens here. What I'm worried about is this guy here. I can't move him. And he could get killed, get one-shotted by that cleaner there. Let's see what happens. Nope, he shot the shield. Good, shoot that shield. Dummy. Don't shoot the guy without the shield standing right next to the guy with the shield. Oh, he's still up. Oh. Oh, he missed. Come on. Oh, finally. Alright, so we got a cleaner agent. So we'll be able to autopsy him or capture him and sell him. There's all sorts of fun stuff you can do with your captured aliens. Fortunately, he's just about out of gas. So park him. And then we have to decide how we want to do this part. So you're typically, if you go in with the guy with a shotgun, he could one-shot most people. Let's see, he won't be able to crouch, but we'll get one shot on this guy. Alright. So he's only got 6 health left, so just a little... I could just ding him a little bit. He'll go down, but I got nobody else close enough, I don't think. No, so let's go... Let's see, we've got 54. Let's see. Oh! Damn, that sucks. Got me with the frickin' Overwatch. That is a constant irritant. You gotta patch him up because this bleeding is serious business. Alright, why can't I go through there? Okay, why can't I do that? There we go. So she'll be out now for like a month. So that was a terrible thing to have happen to me. There are ways to deal with it, but I just wasn't thinking. We won't be able to get him into position. Oh. Okay, who else do we have here that might be able to do something? We'll try to get these. I find you're better off keeping your guys together than spread out too far. If you're trying to explore the whole base by splitting everybody up, that is a ticket to the grave, my friend. If you want to see if you can make a shot, you can click where he's going and then hit the shift key and then click on the enemy or mouse over it. And it'll show you the odds. It doesn't go both ways. I swear to God, they never miss. I know it's random, but I just feel like they just never miss. I'm gonna go ahead and move him there. See, that's crap. You saw it, right? He got 2 Overwatches. What the hell? What the actual hell? I'm gonna see if I can knock this guy out with some smoke. Oh, I don't have enough. That's the way you play it. It's always like one time unit away from being able to do something cool. Oh no, it's a reload. That's a reload. Yeah. I got a feeling like we're going to be reloading this. Oh, my Overwatch worked. Okay, that's good. I might possibly not have to reload this. I guess it helps that these are just the lowest level of the lowest level, but if that had been an alien, every one of those guys would have been dead. Okay, let's see if I can bop any of these. Oh, are you kidding me? Hate that. What is he, like light? Is he the Flash? What's going on here? Okay. These other guys. Oh, this is stupid. Alright, that door's probably going to open and they're going to pop out of there. So I want to make sure I got a guy here, at least one guy ready for him. Okay, let's see if I can get this open. Alright, he was the one that was wounded, right? Do I have a... There we go. Oh, I can't reach him. What's... It takes 25 to use that. Oh, really? 25? Okay, so we're not going to be able to patch him up yet. She can watch. He can watch. So the red is the health and the green is the movement they have left. This is really freaking dicey. 35. 25. Oh, there's a door there. Okay. So that's ineffective. Now here's where we're going to have to reload because they're going to pop in that... Oh, they didn't come out. Oh. Maybe I'm just used to later in the game when it's just so freaking tough. I've already made several mistakes that would have cost me the mission. It's just that hard. I guess they nerfed it a little bit here at the beginning. Alright, there is... Okay, so remember that Overwatch crap? I'll show you how to deal with that. So I can throw the flashbang. And yeah, it's suppressed, so it worked that time. About half the time it doesn't seem to work, but we're good. So that turns off his Overwatch. It also decreases his time units to a certain degree. So he won't be able to do as much on his turn. It's a good thing, too, because you have to hit him like 7 times. Get a bunch of these. I don't even know if I really need all these captured live, but I guess we'll see if it was worth it after the mission. Right. Always make sure you're not leading with the guy with the least amount of health. Ow! Man, I can't believe I fell for that again. Poor guy. Trying to get him back. Well, at least he's not bleeding, but he's going to be out of work for a long time because of all these hits he keeps taking. Move him over there. I mean, if there's a chance. It'd be nice if just every now and then they were to miss. Just don't ever seem to happen. Okay. Put him back on shotgun duty. Let's see, can I turn around? Okay. Enemy activity. Can't tell you how many times everything's been going great and then just this alien pops out of nowhere. Like, one shot's all my dudes, or 2 or 3 people. Okay, let's patch him up again. It's actually not a bad thing to get wounded, because you do get some bonuses. Okay, looks clear. Let's see. Getting kind of shy at this point. What the hell, just leave you there. There might be something in this black region here, but you don't want to run in there without any time units and then just be at the mercy of whatever's behind that door. I've had that happen a few times. You know, later on you can get these this special face mask thing with cameras on it, and you can see all around you without having to turn so much. Oh, that's useful, but that's a long ways away. Okay, so it looks like we've got most of this cleared out. This game does a great job of just the dread of like what's around the corner, man. It just every move feels tense. Okay, so I need to explore up in there. So I'm just going to leave him there for now, I think. I'll double up here just in case something decides to pop out that way. And yes, there could be monsters that have, or cleaners, I guess, that are roaming the zones I've cleared already too, so. Don't get cocky. Now she can't, or he can't use this heavy launcher on with the Overwatch. Okay, let's go ahead and end that. Don't worry about taking turns, by the way. Just take as long as you want. Some missions there will be timers, like they'll keep spawning reinforcements, but this one doesn't have it, so it's better off just take the extra turn, recharge, refresh. Don't get in a big hurry. Don't get careless or you will be reloading. Alright, so that is all clear. So let's... Guess we can go back this way and just see if there's anything. Nope, nothing has come up behind us there. Alright, I think we're good to explore that. I don't think anything's going to pop out, but just to be on the safe side, we can kind of do that. That looks good. Yeah, this doesn't look suspicious at all. Doesn't it just scream encounter? I really like this kind of setup the best. You can't always get it. Over there. My shield guy. I think he's lost his shield already. Yeah. Once you get that ultimate shield, though, it is really a game changer. But right now, my shield, I guess, is made out of wafer board. Oh, you see that crap? Boom. Just popped out of that room. Almost one-shotted me. Oh, and it's a bleeding wound. Oh, even better. Oh, and of course he misses. So I'm just going to get right up in this guy's business and... Boom! That's the advantage of a shotgun, but you have to get right up close. So you can see they can just keep popping out. They can absolutely ruin your day. So just take your time. Don't get in a hurry. Get your guys in position where you want them. That's not ideal. Let's see, can he move? No. Okay. Now see, if you crouch, you wouldn't be able to use your Overwatch. Interesting decision. Is that what that is? Okay, so we know they're popping out still, so I'm going to be cautious to the point of irritating. Alright, I think... You know, this is making me think that with the Grenadier, it might be good to have a pistol instead of the stun baton. That would let you use an Overwatch. Let's go for it. Hopefully whatever's in here is not going to be able to stand up to a heavy blow. Ah, we found the general. You! I recognize you, all of you. Why don't I remember anything about you? It doesn't matter. I will not allow you to interfere. Okay, so I think it'd be really cool to take him... to knock him out. Take him back. We're going to have to be... very careful how we do that. Okay, you can't reach him. So let's try some tricks. Yeah, let's try some tricks. So we don't want to let him get that Overwatch on me. 16. Alright. I don't think there's going to be anybody in here. Nope. Question is how to get him without losing a man. Alright, he's got smoke. You know what I'd like to do is pepper him a little bit. that would only leave him with 8 movement points. Oh, this is tricky. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to hit him with the smoke. Okay. Just swapping the ammo out took all my points. Okay. And he doesn't have a grenade. So I'm just going to get him out of there, I think. See if I run across, they might get attacks on me. I don't even know if I can... Maybe the best thing to do is just take the shot. Might actually kill him. I don't want to do that. Okay, they didn't get those attacks on me. At least there's that. If he comes out, though, I'd end up accidentally killing him with my... Oh, here's some... Oh, can't get a good angle. And for some stupid reason, it takes 30 freaking turn units to throw a grenade. Are you kidding me? So I won't be able to throw it anywhere good. So let's just not do that for now. Okay. Now let's just see what they do. Oh, we got one more guy down here. Let's run him over that way. Okay, yeah, there he is. Not too much damage. See, I overwatched him. Alright, now let's see. I'm gonna blow the door off. Now somebody said that there's a way you can do these charges better. Okay, that should do it. Ah! Try again. I want to blow the door. Man alive. Never had to take this many. Try over here. Why can't I get a bead on that? There we go. All right. So that was kind of dumb. My whole point of that was so I wouldn't have to use the 4. I don't want to run up to the door and not have any turns, but we achieved the same effect. Got a shot there. I should take that. Oh. Yes, even if you have a 90% chance of hit, you'll miss a lot. Well, here's the thing. I don't want to kill... just can't get my smoke in there anywhere good. He doesn't have his shield anymore. He does have heavy armor. He's probably my best person to lead this charge. Whew. Okay, can I get him over here? There we go. Okay, I'll risk it again. I'd really love to take this general alive. There's still at least a couple more in there, though. Do you see that? Do you see that other one? Okay. All right, there's the general. Let's hit him with some smoke. What the hell? I swapped that out! Glitch. I didn't want to do that. Alright, well, maybe this is okay. All I need to do is hit him once, but problem is there's another one of those dudes in here. Come on. There he is. Got him. All right. So now all we have is the general. He's probably a terrible... Oh, come on. Wouldn't it be awesome? You just knock him out. Oh. Knock him out. Oh, of course you had to miss. At least he missed for once. Oh, of course he didn't have enough points. They never have enough points. I guess I'll get everybody around him. You know, I wonder if you disarm all your weapons, if that means you just take a fist at him. I always thought it was cool when a game would let you hit somebody with the butt of your weapon. Alright, this is basically suicide, but why not? Oh, he killed a guy. Says he's unconscious. Alright, maybe he's not dead. Alright, let's do this. Come on. Got him! Alright, that should be the end of the mission. So that's mission 1. Let's see if that unconscious guy is in fact a survivor, if he died. If he died, I might want to reload. It does save at every turn for you. That's nice. Well, looks like everybody survived. Good. So this is what I was telling you about. So this, yeah, he survived, but it's going to take 35 days to recover. And in game time, that is forever. So he's basically, for all intents and purposes, dead. I mean, you'll forget about him by the time he's ready for battle again. The rest of these guys look okay. Now, the advantage of getting wounded is you get this Crimson Heart. So you get +1 to all attributes if you take more than 30 HP of damage. So it's not... I thought this was a nice thing that the developer did to kind of make it a little bit less painful. We can look over here. You see you got 3 captured cleaner agents, 1 captured general, and then 5 corpses, and 8 submachine guns, and a ballistic pistol. There's some pretty good loot. Alright, now we're going to have this operation points mechanic. I'll tell you about this as we go along here, but the main thing you want is more of them. You only get 10 by default here, and that's just not enough, so we're going to want to do... Or at least this is what I found that worked well for me. You make your own decisions, but I tried to prioritize the ones that would give me operation points first. Once you get the operation points, there's all sorts of stuff you can do. You can raise money, you can take care of this doomsday. I never used that one. You can construct another base. So let's just look at this system for a second, because this takes a little bit of explaining. All right, so each of these regions, you got 6 regions, North America, Europe, etc. And they have 4 supporters or potential infiltrators. All right, so some of them will give you perks, some of them will hurt you. The ones with stars next to them, little asterisks in the corner, are the really, really good ones. So these have really awesome effects if you can recruit them. Okay. The ones with, I didn't know any of this. Okay. The ones with green dots, they're cheaper. So that means it's like they're on sale. So you can buy that guy. He's less guarded, I guess, so it takes less points to recruit him. The red dots are the opposite. So these will cost you more operation points to recruit. So right now there's no infiltrators or supporters, so we're kind of starting with a blank slate. And I got 150 points to start with. So you might wonder, what should I buy first? Well, for only 175 operator points, you can get 300,000 monthly funding, which is huge. On the other hand, this one gives you extra operation point per day. And I think that's what you want. This one's 10% project duration. This one's research projects. So I guess there's a couple ways to play this. You could just focus on what's on sale. The fact that you got 2 elite options here would be good, but on the other hand, you might want to just focus on ones that give you the let's see which one. There's one here that'll give you, yeah. So we can't do this for a while because it's 325 points, but that gives you 2 operation points per day. I think those are the eyeballs, right? Yeah, so there's one for 150 to get an extra point. Here's one that gives you 1 operation point per day. We have enough to buy that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that because it makes more of a difference than you'd think. So now I got him recruited, or he's a supporter. We're going to get extra 1 operation point per day. So instead of 10 per day, we get 11, and we can bump that all the way up to 15. Okay, I'm going to dock our ship. So we got these new research projects we can study: waveform analysis, plot, combat vehicles, and general interrogation. So the combat vehicles are, it's kind of like this. I had the same problem with Phoenix Point. They don't level up. So you probably would rather have a troop in your squad than a robot, just for that reason. So you'd be leveling up the troop. On the other hand, if the robot dies, it's not a big deal. You just patch it up. Costs some money, but that's, to me, easier to deal with that than it is losing a person. You know, you can send the robot into harm's way if it blows up. Costs a little money. You send a guy in there and you're either reloading it or taking a really painful loss. So that's something to think about. Now, this business with the plot, see, I was under the mistaken impression that you don't want to do those right away, because that would advance the story and make the game harder. But it's not true. It doesn't really matter. As a matter of fact, it's probably better to do those early because you get the 75,000 monthly funding. So when we do hit the end of the month and we get our paycheck, we'll have a bonus. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that. Now you see I'm only doing 125% research speed right now. We're going to want to bump that up dramatically because it's going to take 4 days just to do that one thing. Alright, so let's look at our engineer. We still can't do anything with the engineers yet, but we're making a little money, so that's alright. Alright, again, autopsy. Bring in a new kind of corpse. They do these autopsy reports. Learn a little bit about them. So the accuracy is 42. That's the reason they were missing. Yeah, enjoy that while you can. Bravery. So sometimes they'll panic and try to run away, but usually that's... if they go berserk, that's can be bad, even worse than for you. Infiltrated by hostile forces. Yeah, so these are the guys that have lost the information war. Oh, look at that. That's a man in black right there. Cleaner agent. So since we captured these, see, we can do these interrogations and learn a little bit more. Oh, look at this. Got 35 operation points for that. And we can interrogate the general here at some point. So I'm almost ready for another supporter. So let's preview this. Let's see, is that a... yeah, this gives us another. So since we got 105, we can get this other one that gives us a point. We want to make sure we do that before the end of the month because these change. Green and red dots will change. Alright, and now we can go to our base stores. You can sell the junk. So junk is just stuff that serves no military purpose. Which is that everything we collected? That was everything. Sometimes you find stuff you can actually use. But I guess we didn't that time. But we got some money. That's cool. So we got 12 days left until we have our hangar. We can start working on a plane. The plane is going to cost 500k. So we got about 500 to play with. Now let's see what we might want to build next. So we got those living quarters. Medical center. I don't think we got the training center started yet, do we? It's so expensive. Let's wait until we I'm torn about this training center. I mean, it's a nice to have, but I don't know if it's a must have because I really don't want to run out of cash. You know, another radar would be a really good investment. That's 500K for that. See, that'll make this blue circle bigger. We'll be able to find more UFOs flying around. Now let's just sit on our money for a couple of turns. Alright, so yeah, let's take a look at these soldiers here. So you see we got a couple of spots that are vacant because they took so many wounds they have to go. So we have to replace them with some of these other recruits here. So when I recruit somebody, I like to try to find as few reds as possible. That's like poor. There's a lot of yellows too, but these are just the ones we had by default. They will get better. So let's see. I think that was what was that? An assault? So we got 2 assaults. We lost our sniper too. Let's try to find one with that's fairly accurate. Just put the sniper load out there. Okay. Or 54% health. That's not good. I don't know how long it's going to be before we have another mission, but that's kind of scary. So let's see how many other... There's Felix. So we got 2 more. That's really not enough soldiers. You know, I'm going to build that damn training center. Let's just find a good placement for it. So don't block your stuff. Medical center. Okay, I think probably 4 squares for energy would be sufficient. So I'm thinking maybe here. You only get 1 training center. Okay, we'll let that... Oh! That might not have been smart. That might have been stupid! I won't have enough money to build my plane. Infiltrators activated. Oh, great. Yeah, so now we're going to get these stupid red ones. So the red ones work against you. And if you notice, the elimination cost goes up every day half a point. So if you don't prioritize getting rid of these guys, eventually you'll have to use a whole lot of operator points to take them out. But I'm still going to go for this guy because you know, if you don't have the operator points, you can't do anything. So go ahead, prioritize that. But this is a concern. There's a lot of them too. So we want to take care of them before the price goes up, basically. Man, look at that. Thought I could build something by now. Okay, there's a waveform analysis. So yeah, this is explaining how the aliens got to us. Let's interrogate the general next. I'll save that combat vehicles. Yeah, they are pretty useful, but they cost a lot of money because when they blow up, it costs a lot to fix them. They're gonna blow up. All right. 31 points. Try to get rid of one of these infiltrators next, I think. Then again, I might... This extra 300k would sure be useful. And that one, this one's huge too. I don't know what to do. You know, and if you get a whole row, then you get a really nice bonus. Okay, should be seeing some UFOs here pretty quick. Ah, we got a alien abduction site. You know, some people prioritize building other bases, but I haven't tried that. Okay, this guy's only got 68% health, so I think I'm going to swap him out with one of my other ones. Make sure they got the heavy armor. Yeah, we can live with that. Yeah, this little module here is kind of cool. Tactical module. Makes him a little bit more accurate. Is everybody else good? Whoa. There's a stun gun that you can get, but it sucks. I'll just leave it at that. Oh, I had said that it might be cool to leave a pistol here just for the Overwatch purposes, but I wonder if I could fit that. Yeah, let's go ahead and have that medical pack. That's a useful thing. Yeah, this is the guy I was thinking of. So you could give him a pistol, but then... Oh, I'll barely make that work. We'll try that. Let's see. It's looking pretty good. We got enough room for a grenade. You know, once you start getting those stat boosts, you know, just a couple of points and you can suddenly carry a grenade you couldn't carry before. Alright, this guy needs some stuff. Yeah, that gas mask here is a useful thing as well. You're going to run into a lot of enemies that use gas attacks. Plus, if you have this, you could smoke up an area, then run in and hit people in the smoke. Could try that. Just go ahead and get it. Alright, I think that's about all. I like to put those gas masks on anybody that's kind of a melee fighter or up close. It can definitely make a difference. Launch that. Yeah, see, I got a lot of the worlds without any eyes on it at all. These alien abduction sites, I think these are some fun missions. Again, I wish we had more of them in the game. Seems like you very quickly run out of all the mission types except for those crash landings. Alright, so let's try that again. Yeah, I had a bit of a problemo. My XSplit broadcaster decided, well, I basically ran out of hard drive space, and maybe it dinged me or something. I didn't hear anything, though. So I went on and recorded like 3 or 4 hours worth of video footage. I was speaking into the ether the whole time. Which maybe I should just always do these live, just in case that happens again. But I think we're good to go now. Obviously, it's a couple days later. I finally found some time to pick up where we left off. I'm going to try to redo this mission here, and then I'll show you a little bit of my later game. And then I think we'll be good to go with Xenonauts 2. But I like the game so much, I didn't want to just kind of half-ass something. It's not their fault I had an XSplit problem, so that's where we are. Okay, I might be a little repetitive here because I can't remember everything I said already a couple days ago, but I'll try not to. So with this mission, we're trying to find people in these glass tubes. The aliens want to suck them up, take them up for probing. You know, some of them might actually want that, so they might be angry that I freed them from the tubes. Get me out of here! But the problem is we've got a very strict time limit. So there's only 7 turns. We don't have to get them all. You know, you still get mission success if you just get a few. But I'm going to try to see if we can get all of them. And of course, that comes at a very high cost, putting all my guys in harm's way. So let's just see what we can do here. Now, one nice thing about these aircraft is they usually have a side entrance, and I didn't realize that for some reason. First time I played it, but you can park a guy right here, and he's got pretty good cover. And you can see I've already got a tube sitting there, so I'll try to... Won't be able to get it this turn, but I can get pretty close to it now. Of course, I can't even kneel down with this guy, so if an alien pops out of here somewhere, he'll probably get one shot. So there's always that nasty little possibility. So I'm going to pop my shield guy out here, take a look around. Don't see any aliens. So that must mean there are none, right? Oh, yeah. I see another tube up there. So it's good to at least get eyes on the tubes, but it'll be really hard to get all the tubes without losing a couple of guys. I decided I'm not going to reload anything for the purposes of this video. Oh, I got my little friend Dr. Pepper here. So we'll just chug along Iron Man even if we lose some guys. Of course, when I was doing this in real life, I would not have settled for that. Yeah, a little Grenadier here is not all that useful on this level. Let's see. Where do I want to move him? I see another tube way over there. I wonder if I can get him. Oh, I can actually get him inside the house. That's ought to be pretty good. Assuming there's not an alien in there with me. Now, I'd really like to capture one of these aliens live, because then you get all sorts of great perks, including being able to sell the live specimens. And that's a good way to bring in money, and you really need money at these early phases. Alright, so I sent a couple guys that way. Now again, prudence would say that I should keep all my guys bunched up nicely together, but again, we're in a very tight time limit here, so I'm going to have to take some risk if we want to get all of the tubes. I got, he looks good. Corporal Matthew Hall. I really like these heavies. Man, when you get the Colossus suits, it's just, those are like Robocops or the guys from Fallout, you know, the Brotherhood of Steel. And they have these machine guns and big fists, and they're just totally awesome. But we're a long, long ways from that. Go ahead and run that guy. I haven't made eyes on any aliens yet, so they're probably a little bit further in, but I'm sure they'll make their presence known soon. Okay, I don't really like that. We're probably going to lose a couple guys right off the bat. Here comes the alien. Oh, he missed! Oh my god, I've never seen that before. An alien that actually missed? Wow! Okay, so now I got to decide what kind of shot I want to take on him. He's right there. I could switch to a short burst. That's going to take me down to 23% accuracy, though. Just depends on how bad I want to kill this guy. I try to take him hostage. I guess we'll just kill him. Kill him. Okay, so he's down to 38 health. So the question is, do I want to take another pop at him, or let's just see if we might get lucky here with we got to move him out of. Wait, what's the problem here? Oh, he's only going to have 9 move. Why are you going all the way around? Maybe I need to tuck that guy. Okay, there we go. No. For some reason, he won't go through the window. I guess because he's got a shield, he can't go through the window. Oh, great. What about him? Oh, he's only got this pistol, so... yeah, just go ahead and shoot that alien. Okay. There we go. Nope, can't do it with him, though. Well... don't tell me I'm going to have to let that alien sit there for another round. I got one tube. Alright. Let's see if I can get this guy in. So one thing that's cool, if you click where you want to move, you can shift click and see what the odds would be of hitting that alien there. So really good chance of hitting him. Let's see if he can do it. Oh, of course he can't. Well, I'm afraid he just deserves to die. There's just no excuse for being that sucky. And this guy can't get a shot. I guess we could try to blow him up with a grenade. Let's see, how's this gonna work? Maybe he'll blow the wall off of that house, and there we go. Now this guy might be able to get a shot now. Let's see, possibly, let's see. Oh, got him that way. So there you go. It's a good strategy I've used quite often. Just blow a wall apart, then you can get a shot with a guy, another dude, and it's called teamwork. I kind of hate that I had to use so many turn units, though. Okay, let's see. I don't do I want to do this? I don't really want to move him back. So what I think I'll do is just, I'll wait till the next turn and pick it up there. Go ahead and snake this guy around the corner, take a peek around. Oh, I see another tube. Where are those aliens? You know they're there. Just waiting to one-shot. I got a bad feeling there's some right around in here. I'll tell you what, let's make for that spot. Still don't see any. So I don't have any more overshots left anyway, so let's go ahead and... That's about as far as I can get, still be able to kneel down. Alright, I think the danger's past there, so let's go out. Oh, this guy hasn't moved yet. Okay, well... Oh, that was dim. Maybe he won't be able to hit him through that window. These aliens, they're crack shots though, feel like. Watch him hit him. Where the heck's he going? Huh? Oh, wow, I'm getting really lucky. Maybe that's the universe being nice to me because it was so mean the other day. Okay, and you don't need to use a turn unit to activate those, which is pretty useful. I think I could do anything else, but all I can do is kneel. Alright. I could get up the second level and take a look around, but I'm just going to make a beeline for this and hope for the best. Hope is not a strategy. Oh, but sometimes it is. Alright, sneak him in there. Looking good there, buddy. Now, if I could bring him up here to be a little backup, that might be. Usually a close-up shotgun blast to take out most stuff. But they have to be able to hit. Alright, I got one there, and it happened... Yeah, there's one. So I kind of want this guy up the middle, but... This is getting dicey! Kinda... Need a sniper is what I need. Oh, my sniper's back here still. Well, that's not very useful. Rifles aren't... They're pretty accurate. At least compared to a shotgun, but... Let's see, can I get any kind of chance of a shot? Maybe from there? Yeah, it's a decent shot. Let's try there. Usually takes two to kill him with this, though. Alright, let's... If I kneel down... I could do, yeah, aim shot, 43%. Let's just go ahead and take it. Oh! Oh, that sucked. You can't even kneel down. Oh, that was terrible. And this guy, now let's see. He's got a small chance. Oh. Nope, 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 and nope, and he can't get anywhere close. Might as well try to get him lined up that way. Well, I could blow him up if I could reach him. This Grenadier, for some reason, has terrible turn units. It takes him 21 to use the normal shot. So he can only move that close. Yeah, he's not going to be able to. Only 18% chance of hitting there. I wonder who poses the bigger threat. Let's check that one. Oh, nowhere close. Well, it's worth the shot. Let's see if they miss. There he goes. Kind of looks like Jiminy Cricket there. Oh, what the heck was that? Oh, he got me. I got the bleeding wounds. Great. So he's down to 26 health, and those are really going to start ticking quick. Got a guy with a medical pack that could probably reach him there, but also I have a live alien up here to deal with. Let's get him a little closer. sucks. I'm gonna have to go patch him up or he'll die. Now I'm just stuck out there. Can't make a shot. Can't get to cover. Just SOL. This guy can't even climb. Wow. Got nothing better to do. I'll try to run him to the capsule. Tube. Why do I keep saying capsule? Any chance I can get him a little closer to one of these guys? This is really reckless here, but I'll get him as close as I can. Dang, it's still a terrible shot. No, that wasn't smart there. And let's see if I can get him there. I really hate blowing him up with... Oh, he's suppressed now. That's good. So that means he'll have fewer turn units. It's not good to blow them up with explosives because then you don't get their gear. But really at this point we're just trying to get our human buddies out of these tubes. I hope in real life that the team would care more about Matt Barton stuck in a tube than getting an alien weapon, which you can't use anyway. Oh, I wish I had more turn units. Yes, just can't have enough turn units for crap. Oh, there's one up there too. Oh, that's just perfect. Got him once. Got him. Okay, finally hit the shield. One nice thing about these missions is as soon as you get all of these things, the mission's over right away. So that's at least one positive. So can I reach him with the... Nope. Okay, let's try this. See if we can kill him. Alright, he's down. Let's run him back. Okay, patch him up. Still got this guy up here to deal with. I'm going to try to blow him up, I think, again. Alright, that ought to hurt his feelings at least. He's down there. I think it does a little damage when they fall, too. Alright, let's see. So I got to get 4 more. So 1, 2, 3... I think I'm missing one. Where's the other one? 1, 2, 3. Oh, 4. How did I miss that one? Okay, let's see. 3 turns. Oh, that ain't good. I'm gonna... Oh, of course, he's got no movement left. Run him that way. Run you this way. Yeah, there's that one. Let's see. Try to use a grenade perhaps at some point. We'll see. That guy's in a good position. He's 17 to use this. Let's try that. Don't miss. Oh, he did. Guy's still up. Oh, what? Can I hit it? Yeah, try there. Oh, he's still up. Jesus. Now they're gonna get another round at me. Oh, we're gonna lose some guys this time for sure. Oh, I hate it. I hate seeing that. Oh, there goes my shield guy. We just have to hope that maybe we get lucky with that survival rate. Oh, he's down, so we can't have to use him now to try to get there. Man, that's aggravating. Okay, we only need 2 more, so let's see. Got that one there. I'm just gonna try to run him down. He ain't good for nothing anyway. Can't hit a damn thing. Okay, I guess not too out of my way. We ought to be able to complete the mission anyway. Come on, you can't hit him 100%. Or at least got him dead. Alright. If he doesn't die from his bleeding wounds. You know, even if I complete this mission and that guy actually survives, the shield man, they're going to be out of commission for like a month because of these wounds. I'll have to hire some new guys. But, yeah. I think we'll be able to do this. Alright, that's good. One more. Oh, please be able to reach it. Oh, so close. Thank God you don't have to use turn units on this. Boom. Alright. So I forget what our odds are that this guy will survive. Oh, I guess that doesn't automatically end it. Okay, so we're, yeah, definitely screwed now. Last remaining turn. Oh, I guess it ran out the clock. But... Oh, really? Ah, jeez, I just cannot. These turn units. You get a lot more as you play along, but man, at the beginning here, it's just so stupid. He's right there! You can't heal him? Really? Okay. Do I have any other guys with a heal kit around here? No. Well, about the best we can do, I guess, is just hope he survives. I think I've only got to survive one more turn. For some reason I thought it would end as soon as I had them all captured, but I guess that was not accurate. Yeah, every 5 damage is probably like another week in the hospital. You know the worst part of this game? What? It's still not over? What is it waiting for? Oh, I guess I gotta kill everybody. Okay. Okay. Alright, I didn't... Was that just recently changed? I don't think that was the case before. So now I gotta find these aliens left over. Okay, that really sucks. I'm down 1 man and not even sure where these other aliens are. Where are you? I guess there's no time pressure now, so I can just get in good positions and try to wait them out. I hate losing my shield guy, I tell you that. I almost can guarantee you he ain't gonna survive. Where are these other aliens at? You know, if I knew for sure I was gonna have to kill them all, I would have paid attention. Oh boy. Hopefully they'll pop out and let my Overwatch guys take care of them. There he is. Okay. I'd like to take him alive if I could. He's so far away, though. And reload. Let's try to smoke him out. Okay. Damn, they are stingy with these time units. He's the only one close enough to... Ah, killed him. Well, got the mission done anyway. Let's see if our shield man survived. Probably not. But I don't know how to do these missions without losing a man. I mean, you either have to just give up on getting all the capsules, or you can play it really safe and, you know, all your men come through it, but then you don't get all the capsules, so you're gonna have to sacrifice. Nope, killed in action, so he's just gone permanently. So all those medals and awards, all for nothing. He's dead. So that was whatever I get for this mission, it will not be worth it. But what can you do? It's either that or just keep reloading. Alright, we got those magnetic weapons. Those are pretty good. We got the Warden combat armor. We can research that for sure. Alright, so I don't know if again, sorry about having to, if I'm repeating information, but the plot ones, don't worry about doing those. You can do those as soon as you get them. It doesn't advance the story, or it doesn't spike the difficulty or anything. So I was putting those off before. I really should have done that. However, I think this Warden combat armor is just so damned important. No, I don't want to interrupt the other research, but that's super critical. Because they're still going to be getting one-shotted even with that, but it gives you some chance. Okay, so let's see. What were we doing before? Okay, I got living quarters being built, generator, training center, medical center. I really shouldn't have made that training center, but so many soldiers they got here. So I think my aircraft here holds 8 people. Oh, I don't want somebody at 50% in here, so I got 3 spots. Let's see, 1. So everybody, I got 1 person here that's not banged up. So really I need to hire a couple more soldiers. So I got the space for it. So let's go ahead and recruit a couple more. Oh, that's 37 accuracy. Take that one instead. They'll be buck privates, but we can level them up pretty quick. You're not going to be playing where you reload every time somebody falls in combat. You know, I was thinking, you know, there's so many ways they could have addressed that problem. You could have it like a lot of games do, where when you get, there's some kind of feat or perk or something, so when you get down to 1 hit point, or whenever you hit 0, it'll bring you back to 1 hit point automatically somehow. I mean, some kind of alien medical implant, you know, who knows? Or if they just were nice enough to roll right when the guy dies or falls in combat, if we just tell you right then, hey, he's not going to survive or he's going to recover, then you could continue playing the mission, right? At least you would know. But this is like the worst, because if it's like turn 2 or 3 in combat, they fall, you don't know if he's going to survive or not till the very end of it. So you're basically going to be reloading, unless you're totally okay with losing, like, really and truly at this point, you lose a sergeant or a private. You know, it sucks role play wise, but you can level up another guy real quick. But if it's like a colonel that you've been playing with the whole game, and he's got all these medals and awards, and he like dies in round 1 because he got one-shotted for no damn reason, are you going to play through that whole mission not knowing if he's going to survive or not? So that's just, to me, a poor way to do it. Okay, we got our other privates there. Oh, yeah. So the first time I played this, I didn't manage to capture this general live. But if I ever play it again, which I probably will at some point, I mean, I imagine they'll do some DLCs or something at some point to make me want to come back. But it's well worth capturing him live, because you get 100 operation points. And it's a pretty cool story there. So, I think it's good to always have those batons with you. That way you could try to capture a few aliens live. And it's every new species you encounter. That's the one time when you really want to capture one alive. Let's go straight to that combat armor. And again, I'm not going to keep repeating it. I don't know what I've said already. But like the combat vehicles, I've got mixed feelings about those. They're kind of cool in a way because you can upgrade them, and you don't feel so bad if one of those dies in combat because you can repair it pretty easily. Costs a lot of money, but other than that, in time, I guess. But it's better than losing, say, our colonel. The problem with it is it takes up a slot in your airplane or whatever, and they don't get any kind of experience. So they don't have it makes sense to me to have an AI computer, AI situation where they could learn and level up, just like the other soldiers could. That would make it a lot more useful. Other things they could have done with that, I think, is have maybe make out like one of your crew is a drone operator, so maybe they carry like a remote control or a computer with them as one of their items, and then they could get a little experience points vicariously through the drone. Just a thought. But I had that same problem with Phoenix Point with the vehicles. If you're going to have such a cool thing in your game, but then you basically limit it so severely where it makes more sense just to have a more human crew with you than try to bring a robot or a vehicle. Kind of defeats the whole purpose of it. So I don't like that mechanic very much. Okay, let's see. Trying to keep an eye on my Doomsday. I don't even remember if I've showed you a dog fight, so I'll show you that again. Or maybe for the first time. My memory has never been very good. Okay, so we got this probe here. Man, I wish it just sucks so much that XSplit did that to me. Because now I'm like second guessing everything I'm trying to tell you. My problem with this mechanic with the dogfights is that they have this button called Auto Resolve Attack. I always think this is a big red flag in any kind of game like this when you can bypass part of the game. Because what that tells me is maybe that part of the game shouldn't be in there. Or maybe you should have kept working on it so that it was so much fun that you wouldn't even think about skipping it. Like, why would I skip a really fun part of the game? So that always tells me that this was kind of a bolt-on, an add-on thing, and they thought it was, kind of an extra bullet to put on the box, but they really didn't flesh it out enough to be fun. So they put this in here so you could just skip it. I don't think it's as bad as all that. I'll show you what it looks like. Of course, I've only got this one jet right now, but what is this? Oh, this is something new. Well, they just added that. Okay, but I've only got one jet, so it's relatively easy. So that's my cone of fire where I can hit him. That's his cone of fire. I don't have any missiles yet, just got this auto cannon. Later on, you can do some fun things where you let your missiles go at him, but the problem with those is you only get like 2. So you might just want to have another auto cannon because they have a lot more ammo. But if you're careful with it, you can basically survive almost any encounter. So you see how he turns. So I could try to get fancy and get over there and turn on my auto afterburners and see if we can... Oh, I'm turning slow. Okay, there we go. So I can see if I could try to outmaneuver him. Oh, it got me that time. Oh, it got me that time. I was not inside the cone. Okay, so let's see if we can turn around and zap him. I might have been better off just letting the computer do it. I think I got a little bit tighter of a turning radius than him. There we go. There we go. So you can see, I should have it from here. So most of these battles, if you do it right, you can find a situation like that. And I got good enough where I could usually get 100% and not even take any damage at all. But that was a little sloppy. Especially once you get a couple jets and missiles, then you can really kind of tinker with his AI a little bit, try to get him focused on that guy. The other guy zooms in, he turns to deal with the other guy. You zoom him out of there, bring the other guy in, and it can be a lot of fun, I think. But yeah, just coming back to the fact that they gave you that auto resolve button. You know, I was thinking, what could you do to make those more fun? Some of the stuff I think is just obvious. Hang on, I'll show you that what I'm talking about in a second. All right, got a generator and a hangar. Okay, so now I, in theory, could start working on my second airplane, but got to have 500K for that. I got some operation points here, so I could just raise funds with part of it. Let's just do that. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I want that second plane. We still got 100 points left. Let's see if I can get anything good here. I think I told you already about all this, these dots and these supporters, but I like to get the one that gives you the extra opportunity points. Yeah, this is the one I'd really like to have. He doesn't have a green dot, so I have to pay normal price for him. But I might save up and get that anyway. So I think they did a really good job. It's like a simple thing. It didn't take a lot of graphics or anything to put this system together, but it's surprisingly deep. Because you're like, okay, the red dot, so he's going to be difficult. You're going to spend a lot of operator points to get him. But there's an asterisk there, so he's an elite, so it might be worth it anyway. Or you could try to wait till he doesn't have the red dot anymore, or goes green. In the meantime, you got these infiltrators, so these will get more and more expensive to take out as time goes by. So you might think, oh, I should probably get rid of those quick, instead of letting that build up. So lots of interesting decisions, you know, as Sid Meier would say. Oh, we got another crack at this. Okay, he looks good. I wish I had my second plane, but if you want to speed up your engineering, which you basically want to do that as quickly as possible, all you have to do is build more workshops. And the key to this part is to always build them next to other workshops. So if I put a workshop up here somewhere, then I only get another 5 engineers. But if I put it here, then I get 7. I'm not sure if it stacks 2 ways. It might. So if you get a full square, I wonder if you get 4 extra. Maybe we'll look at that when the time comes. Okay, we got 300,000. I think I'll just hold on to that for now. Let's do this other battle. Let's try this again. Let's see. I still think it's better to come at it from the side. Yeah, they're spinning around. So just to compare, we can see what happens if I don't try to move out of his way, but we'll try this evasive roll instead. Let's wait till he... Yep, here we go! There we go, zoom out of his way that way. But that's got to charge back up, so I'm going to have to take a little damage. Okay, get out of his zone there, then I try to turn around. Okay. There we go, afterburner off. So, yeah, how could they make that more fun? Well, here's the obvious one. If we go to the aircraft scene, look at this. So we've got a pilot here named Maniac, but there's no... Why the hell isn't there like a way to level this person up? Why don't they have ranks like the soldiers do? Like these soldiers are private, corporal, whatever. So if this is supposed to be the Air Force, there should be like a whole thing with them, right? And they level up, get better. Maybe the captains could really turn fast, or whatever. Just that makes me think it was just an afterthought. I think these pilots ought to be just like the soldiers in terms of ranking and like a living quarters for them. And it's not like it would take a lot of coding to do something like that. So that's one thing. Another thing is the... well, I don't have any missiles yet, so I can't show you this, but there's a few ways you can sort of customize these planes. there's different. Later on, you get like a laser cannon. You get different missiles and torpedoes, but I didn't feel like it was as well done as the soldier part of this. I think if you're going to bother, it would make more sense to have it maybe a couple different types of aircraft. So you might have, like the soldiers, you got the heavies, the riflemen, the grenadiers, all that sort of thing. At least have a couple different types of planes. Now, I guess they would probably say, well, you could do that anyway. You could have some with autocannons, some with a laser cannon, some with missiles, some with not. But I don't know. Yeah, see, even this guy has, they make you think this is going to be a cool thing. Yeah, it just seems like a missed opportunity. Why don't the pilots get some XP? If they get a little higher rank, maybe the plane goes faster, turns better, does more damage in combat. There's lots of ways they could have done that. Kind of another weakness I think with this game is if you play stuff like Phoenix Point, you get kind of spoiled when it comes to these soldiers. Because really all we can do here, all this does is change the loadout. So it doesn't affect the way they're leveling up or anything like that. So the plus, there is an advantage to that, is if somebody dies or is wounded, and I don't need another rifleman, I need an assault. So that's no big deal. It's just swap out the gear. It does make sense to have certain stats go with different loadouts, like a shield guy or a grenadier needs a lot of strength because they've got a lot of gear to carry. Obviously a sniper would probably be good with accuracy, but that doesn't make that big of a difference. But the weakness, if you played those games like Phoenix Point, is it would sure be nice to have a little bit more going on here when they level up. Just more than just stats. If they had... Let's see, does anybody have a medal? What, none of my guys have medals? Oh, this one does. So they do have this. So a guy that gets... if you take more than 30 points of damage, you get these medals. You get +1 to all attributes. So you get sort of... That's about as close as they get to perks. You can see those. But... I feel kind of like that just... it feels empty without having some type of perk system where when you level up you get to pick a little bonus of some sort instead of just having everything passive and automatic like this. But I see what they're doing. They don't want, I guess what they don't want is for you to feel like you have to heavily specialize a soldier just to do one thing and one thing only. So you get the flexibility with that, but I don't know. I like a little bit more fun stuff to do when you level up. Wreckage received. I got the probe wreckage. Yeah, pretty cool artwork. So I think once you see this screen, that means you can start collecting bounties. Well, I don't think I'm far enough in the game for that, but eventually you can skip even doing the tactical missions and just collect a bounty. And the really sucky part of that is they penalize you if you actually want to go on the mission. So it's even worse than the Jet's aerial combat letting you bypass that or let the computer auto-resolve it. So when you get to that point of the game, it's actually basically punishing you for doing a mission instead of just collecting money. What were they thinking there? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, got some more cool stuff to research. I'll tell you one thing, if I were to go further along here, my game where I beat the game, I didn't bother making extra workshops or laboratories until really late in the game. But I think it would behoove you to get that quick. I might have mentioned it already, but even if you're not actively building something, you still get some cool bonuses. Of course, the other question is, how quickly do you want to start a new base? Apparently, some people just play with one base the whole time. I read that. I don't know how it's possible. I feel like you should at least have 2 bases, maybe 3 or 4 as the game goes on. But what you probably don't want to have is multiple sky ships or drop ships. Because really, just one will be fine. Just have your super crew. You don't really need, of course you have your reserve units, but you don't need to have like a sky drop ship at every city or base. All right, let's do this one last mission here, and then I'll show you my later game. Okay, so this mission, I guess, will be a little simpler because they... oh, jeez, I made the same mistake again. So we're going to pick up 3 new people on this mission, so... they probably did that so you wouldn't have to buy extra soldiers, but... again, there's so few mission types, I completely forgot about this one. It's like the only time we get this mission where you get to recruit some extra soldiers. So, I guess it's too late to cancel that plan, but... well, I got a living quarters started here, so we should be okay. Wouldn't hurt to have even more extra troops. And once we get the training center built, remember, they'll be leveling up slowly that way, even if we're not putting them on missions. This mission here is a bear, though. I don't think I got a time limit, so you really don't want to get in a hurry. It's so much better to set up a really good tactical position and wait for them to come to you than it is to try to just rush in and not being able to see where you're going. Okay, so what's happening here? We got these guys. Oh, these are the cleaners. Yes, remember, those are the human opponents. And then we've got our crew. These are the guys we want to rescue up here. So they're in a pretty good position here, I think. So what I'm going to do is just keep them inside this house. And see if we can... yeah. See if we can... I think they're all riflemen. Yeah, I should be able to go there. Not quite, but okay. Keep them all together here. And then try to bring the teams together. I think it's the way to do it. I do have to defeat all the hostile combatants. Alright, that's a shotgun. Okay. There's my sniper. Let's do that business with the side again. Oh, got one over there too. Oh boy. Go ahead and try to shoot him. Oh. Didn't get to one-shot him. Here's what I'm going to do with him. Oh, shoot! Ah! Have I complained about that yet? I think the Grenadier really sucks. You know, even at like level, even with the colonels, he's always doing that, just dropping the grenade right in front of him. Like, what the hell is that? Even like with the upgraded grenades and everything, it's just a really poorly balanced thing. Just no excuse for that. I mean, I guess you might excuse it at this point since he's just a corporal, but it was like that even at the end of the game when you've got everything maxed out. I'm still like, you can't even throw a grenade without fear of it defect, actually just dropping it on his foot and blowing everybody out. That's stupid. I'm pretty sure our grenades are safer than that now. This is supposed to be, well, I guess this isn't in the future, right? What year was this game supposed to be? Okay, well, the Grenadier failed, so maybe I could use my charge. There we go. What the? Ah! Are you kidding me? He got an Overwatch. It's the first turn. Ah, man, sometimes this game just feels so damned unfair. What? So the crate in front of him blows up at a giant demolition charge. He's still so calmly composed. He could take an Overwatch shot and pop me from all the way over there. Bullshit. Pardon my language. I'm just not in the mood to take it anymore. I'm mad as hell. Damn cleaners. Traitors! Siding with the aliens instead of your own species. You know, in all fairness, it's not their fault. They got oh, I forgot about that guy. You know, they've, as our autopsy revealed, they've been compromised. I don't think they got an Overwatch on the first turn. I guess they do. Doesn't make much sense. We don't get an Overwatch on the first turn. Ooh, that was lucky there. He could have had a solid shot at that guy's back. McHale. Okay, so it's worthless grenadier. Let's try to blow that up. Oh, we got another enemy over there. Oh, great. Well, shoot that one over there. All right, good. Of course, now you're stuck out there in the open. That's all right. Let's use our demolition charge on that. You know, I read that you can put these on a wall somehow. Instead of throwing it, you can like lay it. I don't see how to do that. All I see is throw there. Why is this even an option? Yeah, I want to blow it up right in my face. Let's see if we can do that. Don't drop it on your foot. Boom. Alright, so that reveals him. Of course you miss. Of course you do. Alright, let's see. Come on. He's got 42 health. Got him. So I could take a couple of these guys alive just for extra cash. I could use the cash. So if you really want to optimize, you're going to even on a level like this, you might be thinking, try to take a couple of live ones. Oh, I can get up on top of there if I had the turning units. Alright, so I'm just going to leave these guys right frickin' there. Oh boy. He's probably going to try to shoot this guy. He might get in range. Let's just leave him there too. Remember that burden of command guy we had on that time? He kept talking about how nobody ever leaves cover in real life. And it's basically impossible to kill somebody in cover. Oh, of course you miss. You jerk. It's almost as bad as... Remember Pool of Radiance, that old gold box game? Like, whoosh, miss, whoosh, miss, whoosh, miss. Like 8 or 9 rounds of just everybody missing. It just got comical. I don't know what... I think... What is that? What is that? I don't quite understand how the math works out on that. I guess... It seemed like you wouldn't miss that much. I think I read somewhere where the idea was, well, they're not really missing, it's just you didn't do an effective enough blow to do any real damage. Which I guess I could take that. I would like to see somebody miss with a shotgun at point-blank range. I'd just like to see it. Or a rifle, for that matter. Or a pistol. Okay. Doing pretty good. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, on this map, I think this is the fort up here where there's a whole bunch of them clustered around. So we're going to try to ease up on it. Oh, there's another one. Well, have a grenade. Okay. Of course, he's got nothing left of it. Oh. Oh, he's already moved. Okay. Let's see. Can I get him? Yep. There we go. Miss. Miss. That's too close. I'll have a shot from there. Oh. Not any really good options. put him up on top, see if he spotted me. Not too far away. Might be able to see if I'm moving there. Nope. Well, what to do? He'll probably take that shot. Try to flashbang him. That didn't sound right. I can't reach him. He must be such a weak guy. He can't even throw that grenade. That's another issue I have with this game. 28 turn-ins to throw a damn grenade. Are you kidding me? I feel really negative today. I guess I'll just move here. 21. I don't know how many turns it takes to turn. Alright, that's good. Oh, can he reach him? Oh, crap. All this garbage in the way. I don't think these guys come with grenades either, so we'll just leave them be. I'm not in the mood to lose another man. Yeah, the friendlies. I don't. Every now and then they'll hit. They always get. Oh, look at that crap! Look at that crap! Missed with a shotgun at close range, and that guy got him twice. Oh, you son of a. At least I got him. Jesus. Okay, he'll be out for a couple of months. Need to get that hospital built pronto. Or is it built already? I don't think it's finished yet, right? Okay, I know there's a bunch. Oh, it's over there. I went the wrong way. Ah. Oh well. Oh, don't do that. This is rough. Yeah, definitely can't afford to be getting reckless. Okay, I think we're good in that direction, so start trying to make our way that way. I was really hoping some of the cleaners would get up on these guys. Looks like they were gonna be a little smarter than that, though. Yeah. Take a look. Nothing yet. Oh, there's one. Ooh. That's a tricky situation there. I can't see if this is a... there's a little hole there. So you can get him with the gas. Nope. What about from there? Maybe. 50% chance. No, that was useless. Alright. This is probably stupid, but let's move these guys up a little closer. And let's see about moving him. I'd like for him to have enough turn units for a Overwatch, but just can't make that happen. Doesn't look like it. Oh, this is ugly. And it's just so damn hard. He will almost certainly get me. Oh, you are killing me, Grenadier. This thing must weigh a lot. we're in the general direction. That's fine. That's a good spot, but no more turn units. That problem will get easier later in the game. If you don't keep dying and having to start over with privates, you definitely get more turn units, and every one is just great to have. There is one thing I really like about this game is you really notice your guys getting better. And you need it too. You're like, oh god. Just a couple more turn units, please, anything, you know. It's pretty well balanced. About the time when things just start to feel impossible, you finally get that new type of armor, that new weapon type or something, and it's just so you just can't wait to get it up and running, because it'll make a huge difference. So they nailed that. Gee, I thought I had enough. Okay. There we go. Wow, that was a lot smoother than last time. So there you go. I'll show you my late game real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. This video's already a bit late, so don't want to go on. I would love to just go on forever, because we haven't even gotten to some of the cool stuff. So yeah, 21 days. That's a long time again in game time. But the upside is, I like that they gave you this little bonus, get the Crimson Heart, so it's not always the end of the world if a character gets heavily wounded. I mean, he will be out for 21 days, but he'll be a lot more powerful when he comes back. So I guess one survival. It's not real clear to me what the bonuses are here. It says locals survive 6 out of 7, so does that mean if 7 out of 7 had survived, would I get some kind of bonus for this mission? You know, I think that it does. I think it makes your Doomsday go down more. At different stages of the game, there'll be different things besides. It won't be Doomsday anymore. It'll be like Panic. There's a couple other ones later in the game when you hit those chapters. But you know, I think that's just an information issue. They should tell you, you know, what you missed out on, I guess. Might make you want to redo the mission. Alright, so I'm thinking, is there anything else I want to show you with this? We're a long ways from being able to rebuild a base. Let's go ahead and take a look at my other game, just so you can see the incredible difference it makes. Let's see, what mission is this? Not sure what's happening here, but I'm not going to play it very much. I just want to show you I definitely don't want to spoil the fun stuff that you get at the end. But I think you might like to see how awesome these dudes get. But I'll say, even at the very end of the game, when you got everything maxed out, all the best stuff, everything researched, it is still plenty tough. So you never get to a point where it's just easy and you don't have to use any strategy or tactics anymore. Oh no. Even your toughest guys with the best armor, everything can still get one-shotted. Again, I wish there was a way to prevent that. I could think of a lot of in-game ways where they could eliminate that issue without ruining the narrative. I mean, one thing you'll notice about this awesome freaking ship, dropship, I love that. You got all these dudes. But man, you need every one of them too. I got a couple of these sophisticated robots here. These are the Fallout dudes I was telling you about. So look how badass that son of a bitch looks. Oh, look at that. Colonel Alan Lynch. You know, he's got this machine gun and a freaking power fist. Not to be confused with the power glove. It reminds me of like a Brotherhood of Steel with the RoboCop. And I got a couple of these advanced. Oh, look at that guy! So you can swap out on these machines. You can decide if you want a cannon. Got a couple of accessories, but they're still very limited. I think you're still better off with another person. The cool thing about these is they can go up on top of stuff, so they can like levitate. Let's see if we hit. Oh, the other big negative with these robots is if you let them do the killing, then that's a bonus that should have gone to a human, right? So the robot gets, there's no reason to kill with the robot in terms of advancements. If the human kills, once they rack up a certain number of kills on an alien, they get another medal. So it's yet another reason why the robots kind of suck. Not necessarily a deal breaker, just something to be aware of. You know, try to give the death blow to a human if you want the full benefit. Yes, he's looking pretty good. See what I mean about the turn units? Like he could finally do stuff on a turn. Throw a fusion charge at him. A little bit unnecessary, but oh, he still gets that Overwatch. Man, that is just that is not a fun mechanic. I guess what they want you to do is just get in the habit of always using a suppression grenade. Alright, got him. Most of these guys have jetpacks on them too. Yeah, look how cool that looks. So he's almost maxed out on everything. Colonel, or Stella, she. Oh yeah, let's see. Armor hardness, 20 armor HP. Stun HP. So this is about as good as it gets. Yeah, here's this. So with the Sentinel module, she could see all around her. Now that might not sound like a big deal, but oh, it saves a lot of turn units because you don't have to keep turning in every direction. You never get an upgrade to your smoke grenade. I wonder what's up with that. You know, that's just they must have forgotten about this because you can upgrade all the other types of grenades. So they ought to have like a super tear gas grenade that I don't know, twice the area or twice the stun damage. Yeah, fusion grenades are cool. What else have I got in my crew here? Here they got the fusion weapons. I don't know, talk about gas masks or rebreathers. What's really effective in the early game is to have a bunch of smoke grenades and just smoke up the place and then give your melee guys, your shotgun guys, those masks. Aliens can't see them very well and they're taking stun damage. The shotgun guy can just run right in, shoot them. That's a lot of fun. Well, how do you take some? Oh, that Overwatch. Let's see, do I have anybody else with the... Probably can't reach. Oh, yep. Oh, look at those chameleon suits. That's cool, too. So these, I think they call them stalker suits. So what they do, I don't know if it'll tell me here, but she's kind of hidden, supposedly. I don't know. It didn't seem to make any difference. You know, the aliens could still see her from all the way across the map, it felt like, and still one-shot her. But it looks cool. Supposedly this is like camouflage, active camouflage. And if they're a long ways away, it's supposed to be really hard to hit you. Supposed to be. You know, it's probably just because these developers just use the actual RNG. I was reading somewhere where, you know, most games, they don't really use RNG. They have all these kind of fudge mechanics because just the pure randomness is just, it always feels so unfair, even though it is. Because we just don't really understand statistics well enough. But, for example, like if maybe you got a rifle that's 90%, or, you know, let's say 90% likelihood of making the shot. Well, there's a lot of times when you're not going to make that shot. You know, 10% of the time you're going to miss on average, right? But it could be very realistic to say you might 10, 11 times and miss in a row. And to us, that feels like, what's wrong with this game? It's a broken, it's broken RNG. There's something wrong with the computer, you know. But you know, that's just how randomness works. You could have, you know, I guess in theory, 30 times of missing with the 90% chance of hitting. You know, it does happen sometimes. You know, as a matter of fact, I remember a professor, a statistics professor, was saying that he would ask the students to produce a table of random numbers, or list of random numbers, you know, between 1 and 10, let's say, or whatever. And then he would be able to tell which ones the humans had done versus the ones that were like a computer or something had generated a truly random set. Or maybe the person was just there rolling a dice, let's say, versus just somebody who was mentally trying to come up with the random list. But I tell you all that because the short of it was, the trick was, the humans would try to sprinkle out the numbers more, right? So they'd say 1, 5, and a 7, and a 4, and a 9, and go on like that. Whereas in the real random numbers, it might be like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 4, 7, 9, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 7, 7, 6, There'd be a lot more of that repetition. And that just blew my mind, I still just think that's incredible. Okay, I think that's enough of that. I want to show you, let's see if I can find one of the aerial combats. Might not be able to show you the best jets you can get. Maybe I shouldn't show that anyway. Give me something to look forward to. So let me just wrap up with my thoughts on the game. I had a few thoughts on what they might want to do next if these developers are listening to me. They're not too pissed off at my grumpiness. Yeah, look at this. I got everything maxed out. So when you get a whole region maxed out like this, they'll give you these regional bonuses. So like one of these is +5 soldier starting experience, all stats. So I think that basically starts you off at like a sergeant level. So it makes it a little bit less painful if somebody dies. At least you can start off with a sergeant. Because, when I was playing this one, I will admit it, I just reloaded every time I lost a guy. It made it frustrating at times. You have to redo the missions a bunch of times. It gets so bad at the end. Pretty much every mission I had to reload it at least 2 or 3 times just because of the one-shot business. I won't go over that again. I think it really sucks that you don't have some way to protect yourself. And no matter how careful you try to be, right? There's just no way, as far as I'm concerned, unless I'm just an idiot. But yeah, I couldn't figure out any way to keep all my guys alive, especially when you don't know where the aliens are. All right. I got this base filled out here. I made a couple mistakes here, as you could see. Like I should have had these living quarters in a square. Get the most bang for my buck. Yeah, here's a good example of a square. So remember these generators, they get a extra 50 power capacity if they're next to something. So it's not going to tell me here, but if you do the math, you see it's 600 maximum power, and these only go to 80. So let's see, Alexa, what is 80 times 60? Wait, what am I saying? Alexa, Alexa, stop. Alexa, what is 80 times 4?
80 times 4 equals 320.
So that's 320, right? But since I put them together like this, it's an extra 50 each. So I guess all that adds up to 600. I'll just trust it. I'm not going to do the math. And I got the upgraded quantum arrays here, so you can see these. Look how big these blue circles are. You get a couple of bases, and I got a couple more bases I'm working on in this game. They're not quite ready yet. Oh. Yeah, look at all this stuff. Oh, I just love all the stuff. All right. So what are my overall thoughts on the game? I really enjoyed this. As I frequently say, if I'm complaining, kvetching about a game, little things that bother me, it's because I'm passionate about it, right? If I didn't like the game, it wouldn't bother me. Who cares? So when you really love a game, you try to think of ways that, it'd be so much better if like this was fixed, and like you'd really like to see them fix that thing, because it'd make it even better. So that's the way I'm kind of coming at it with the criticisms. But probably the biggest thing I would work on, if these guys had an unlimited budget, let's say, or more money to work with, I still think there's plenty of room to improve the graphics, basically. So you want to throw in a few choice cinematics, a little voice work, that'd be appreciated. I think you don't want to overdo it. I get that detracts. You don't want to be spending all your resources on basically surface level stuff. instead of the mechanics. But I think the mechanics are fine like this, really. A few little tweaks, but then I think it could benefit from better art and stuff like that, more music, just easy enough stuff to do. If they wanted to do more with like a DLC or really overhaul part of this, I would focus more on this aerial combat. At the very least, you ought to have like a pilot. Well, one of the buildings could be like a pilot hangar or pilot's club or something. I don't know, or just mix them in with the other folks. But they ought to be leveling up and getting some cool perks. So you can have like a little pool of pilots that you could be working on. And maybe you get rid of the bypassing the aerial combat because you want to help these pilots level up, right? Again, they level up more. Maybe they could fire more missiles faster. I don't know. There's lots of ways how they could do that. So it's almost there already. I mean, you don't have to go as far as to have them like their own gear and stuff like that, but I think that would be a fun dynamic. Another thing, I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea, but I was thinking after playing that Jagged Assault series that part of the fun of that is when you're on the ground, your guys will talk to each other a little bit, right? They have their little catchphrases they say. The reason I'm kind of iffy about it is sometimes it's done badly and it gets repetitive and just starts grating on your nerves. But that said, a little bit of it is fine, right? If you want to have a guy go booyah, you pull off a really nice shot, the alien blows up, it's like booyah. That's a fun thing. I like to feel like the guys I'm playing are having fun sometimes, right? Because it's contagious. It makes you enjoy the game more. This kind of can almost feel a little bit lifeless. They had a tool tip or a game tip on the loading screen that said you could rename your soldiers, like Oregon Trail style. You can rename these guys to your friends' names or your family members' names to kind of give them a little more personality or oomph. I don't know about that. I think there's better ways to do it. But I kind of go back and forth about this because, on the other hand, it's, I think you ought to let the player kind of imagine what's going on. Like, if I want to sit here and role play out, just kind of thinking somewhere subconsciously, oh, yeah, Hansi Botha, Major Hansi Botha and Alan Lynch, they're an item. They've been going out on dates and having a good time. When they're off mission, or they met when they were both in the hospital, and they kind of struck up a relationship. I can do that all day and have fun just thinking about it. I don't necessarily need to have it spelled out for me. I don't necessarily need these game developers to try to do that work for me and create all these scenarios. Just let me have a little fun imagining stuff that's not even there. So I come down somewhere mixed up between like having that attitude versus, yeah, it would be nice though to have a few little cinematics, a few little things happening on the base, just to kind of make it feel more lived in, if you will. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on that kind of stuff. It's I don't know if a whole lot's been written about it or if it's been studied or compared, but that's a thing. Another thing is I don't think this engineer or the lab or the scientist, they can have a little bit more personality, I feel like. There's really only the two characters that I can remember, the chief scientist and the lady. I'm blanking on her name. I don't know where you can spot her. So those are the only characters you really have. And they have some decent dialogue. I imagine a lot of people would like to see more development along those lines. So there's that. But again, that kind of stuff doesn't bother me. I'm perfectly happy just imagining what's happening. The only other thing I was going to mention is I had an idea. Thought I'd run this by you guys. If they wanted to make another game like this, or you were trying to make another XCOM style game, and you really wanted to set it apart from what had been happening already. So the idea I talked about with the guys on Discord was, how about you set one of these back in the 1940s? So right after World War II is in real life, that's when the first reports started coming in about, I guess there'd been some earlier ones, but that was when it really started to catch on, this flying saucer phenomenon. Plus, you just had the Hiroshima and Nagasaki go off, right? So a lot of people that like to talk about UFOs and aliens will say, you know, that would have been a good time for the aliens to show up, right? Oh my God, these humans have their nuclear or atomic bombs, I guess, going off. They're going to destroy the planet. We need to visit those guys and like try to sort them out. Maybe even get like some black ops type stuff going to make sure they don't blow up the planet or, you know, whatever. So I think it'd be kind of cool. Plus, you had the Cold War was really at its height at that point. So you could have a lot of fun with, like, even with the alien attacks and everything. Can these different nations trust each other? And maybe one of them is like siding with the aliens and you're trying to sort that out. Or you could have, you know, you could imagine your crew having these, some Russians, some Chinese, some Japanese, and some Germans on the team. You know, that you could have a lot of fun, I think, with the leftover drama from the war, right? You could have some fun with that. But I think the real fun of it would be the technology. So in this game, you know, when you start off, you know, you got some pretty awesome jets and you know, high-tech equipment basically. But if you set it back then, you know, you're basically would be trying to shoot down a UFO with a Mustang, like the airplanes. You know, they just barely had jets, and like all the equipment would be very obsolete today. But that would give you even more stuff you could build up. You know, so you could have a lot of different technologies. You know, all the way from like 1940 stuff, and then they get the 50 stuff, the 60 stuff, you know, on and on and on. And you could have, you know, 7 or 8 different generations of weaponry go. Or it might be just kind of fun to think about, you know, what would 1950 have looked like if we had the technology of today? You know, so just an idea I had, something that would be kind of fun. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that if you think that would be more fun. I don't think it's been done already. You know, I think most of these games are set a little bit either in modern times or a little bit in the future. This one's set about a decade ago, I guess. But yeah, let me know what you think about that idea. Maybe we could make it happen. All right, that's about all I got to say about this. I'm going to stop it here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry about the delay and the mix-ups and any inadvertent repetition I did trying to make the video. I'm just doing the best I can. I'm going to stop it here, though. And thank you for watching. See you next time. Yeah, I had to get that out of my system. I hope you guys enjoyed that, man. What a great game. You know, I just beat that thing this morning and I was like, yeah, man, that little Steam achievement popped up and made me feel pretty good. You know what makes me feel even better, make you feel good too? If you go to that little link in the show notes and support Matt Chat. Yes, there's a thing called Patreon. Oh, it's so cool. You just go there, take a couple minutes, click, sign up. Only $1, or maybe if you're feeling really good, $5 a month to support Matt Chat, keep these episodes in production. We've got so many games, so many legacy developers, so much to do, but we need your help. Oh, please go to that link right now, and Matt Bradley Shergi and me, Matt Barton, will greatly, greatly appreciate it. And you know what? You get a lot more out of the show. People tell me that. Once you start supporting it, you feel like part of the team, you're part of the community, you get on Discord, we're having great conversations. You're missing out if you're not doing that. So rectify the error. We don't want the aliens to win. But hey, if you're not in a position to do that, or if you are anyway, do take a moment to like the video, make a comment, just say hello, love to hear from you. Makes a big, big difference. Helps us with everything. So yeah, like the video, subscribe, share it, and care about it. Thank you. All right, let's see. Oh, what about that news from the Matt Cave? Oh, we got an item here from Will H. Little thing called Queen's Domain. Now, this, if you remember the band Queen, actually this has nothing to do with the band Queen, which is kind of a shame because usually things that are related to the band Queen are pretty cool. But this might be cool as well. This is an upcoming indie action RPG from Freshly Baked Games, LLC. Ooh. Published by Future Friends Games. Now this is leaning into something called the King's Field vibe. I consider myself a man of the CRPG world, but I didn't know what the heck King's Field vibe indicated. But apparently this is an old dark fantasy game that's sort of Dark Souls before Dark Souls was a thing. At least as far as I can tell. But this new one, like that one, is a first-person dark fantasy slow. I like that. Methodical combat with stamina management and a big emphasis on exploration. You know, I feel like as we get older, we kind of need games with stamina management. You know, we're kind of accustomed to that. I'm just managing my stamina. What else we got? You play a castaway searching for your missing father on a cursed island. I wonder if that involves a soccer ball. Was it a soccer ball or a volleyball? I think it was a volleyball. You know what I'm talking about. Wilson! Mr. Wilson. What else? The game features a large arsenal of weapons, tons of enemies, and traversal abilities tied to a magical sword. And you can't buy the game, but you can try the demo. All right, next up from Mr. Martin. Indie RPG, watch Alcahest. Have I talked about this Alcahest? You know, I think I mentioned that. It sounds like some kind of a remedy. Yeah, I'll take 2 Alcahests and call me in the morning. Anyway, this is an upcoming first-person action RPG with this turning heads because it has immersive, physics-driven combat and grounded medieval fantasy settings. Developed by Push On and published by Hype Train. What a name for a publisher. Hype Train. The game emphasizes creative problem solving using the environment, tools, and alchemy to fight rather than just brute force. With a strong focus on interactivity and player freedom, it's drawing comparisons to Dark Messiah of Might and Magic and other immersive sims. Oh, I like the sound of that quite a lot, actually. Alcahest. I might check that out. Thank you, Martin, for that item. Item number 3. Oh, wait till you see this, baby. It's a little game called A Rat's Quest. Not making this up. No, it's The Rat's Quest. The Way Back Home. Story-driven adventure that puts you in the paws of a small rat navigating a giant human-sized world. Developed by the Dreamarians, the game blends platform, stealth, and environmental puzzles with narrative focus, emphasizing scale. Cinematic presentation, emotional storytelling. It's aiming for Pixar-like charm. And the rat's name, now this is too much to believe. This just can't be coincidental. The rat in this game is named Matt. Dreamarians, we need to talk. I like the cut of your jib. Yeah, they know how to put the cheese in the trap. Let me talk about the game. So, you know, these guys got to watch the channel. I mean, come on, they got to watch it. Just contact me. We'll get you on the show. You don't have to make a whole game just to get my attention, but it helps. It works. All right, and then lastly, we got a retro revival. The infamous business software that helped derail Infocom. A lot of people don't know about this. You know, Zork, everybody knows that. Hitchhiker's Guide, maybe Planetfall. But you probably don't know about something called Cornerstone. This, like a lot of game companies back then, Sierra, I think, was doing this kind of stuff too. We're making some money on games, but the real money's at the productivity software, right? So they made this clunker database program. I've heard mixed things about it. Some people I've talked to about it actually say it was way underrated and it's just kind of a silliness to talk about it being crappy. It didn't work out well financially, but it was a good product. I don't know. Database software, not my jam, but I'd like to hear your take on it if you know more about it than I do. Anyway, you can try it out yourself. Cornerstone can now run on modern PCs thanks to new compatibility efforts. Anything else here? It's resurfacing not as a practical tool. Oh, this is the part I thought was interesting. So it doesn't, whether it's a practical tool or not is irrelevant. The cool thing is that it's a reminder of how even industry pioneers can make disastrous bets. And, I read the wrong quote. This is what I want to read by Andrew Plotkin. He wrote a blog about this, and he says, "It's a new age for aficionados of failed 1985 database products." Love that. You know, I wonder if there might be kind of a movement going. I think there might be something to this, right? So, considering how a lot of people are reacting negatively to all of the AI stuff, and like these companies are tripping over each other to try to get these AI features integrated into all their apps and software and even operating systems at a breakneck speed. So there might be a push, a movement to kind of go back to the retro stuff. You know, these old technologies might resurface. It might be cooler to be rocking this DOS system for real than a modern system. So I'll keep an eye on that. You know, retro gamers, we've been doing this forever, right? Retro games, everybody knows they're cool. But it's kind of a different thing when we're talking retro productivity apps. So keep an eye on that space. I think it's pretty cool. All right, let's wrap it up with a quotation. And I was looking for quotes about aliens, like what do scientists think about the possibilities of alien visitation and all that. And I follow Neil deGrasse Tyson on YouTube, watch quite a bit of his content. So he's got a couple of great quotes about it. And I thought this one was pretty good. You know, he's always got a bit of humor with his observations. But anyway, they were asking him about whether aliens tried to contact us before we had radio. And here's what he said. "For all we know, the aliens have already done this and unwittingly concluded that there was no intelligent life on Earth. They would now be looking elsewhere. A more humbling possibility would be if aliens had become aware of the technologically proficient species that now inhabits Earth, yet they had drawn the same conclusion." So, ponder on that. Now, see you guys next time.
could be wrong, but I believe Diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.